How's it going, everybody? Chris here at Digital Asset Connoisseur. Today we're going to take a look at the markets as well as a story from Bank of America and looking at a report they recently made on Web3 and digital assets. We're also going to take a look at a bank in Brazil that has recently opened up Bitcoin purchases to its clients, and then wrapping up a little update on the Harmony One $100 million hack that we originally covered a couple of days ago. As always, the opinions expressed in this video are my own and are intended for educational and entertainment purposes only. They are not to be taken as financial advice. Make sure you're doing your own research and staying safe. Let's get it. So taking a look at the markets today, total market cap is under 900 billion. Looks like it's right at 898 billion currently. So a little bit of a dip overall. Starting with Bitcoin, sitting at right around 20,125. So it's come down a little bit from that 21,500 it was kind of consolidating at over those last couple of days. Ethereum, 1,100 right now. We have BNB sitting at $219. It's about 7% on the last 24 hours. Cardano sitting at 47 cents, down 3.6% in the last 24 hours. XRP, 32 cents, down about 5.5%. Solana, down about 8%, sitting at $34, as well as Polkadot, $7.22, down about almost 7% in the last 24 hours. So as you can see, a lot of red in the market today. And anytime we have kind of these red days, it's Bitcoin kind of leads the charge. Bitcoin's going up. A lot of those other altcoins are going to usually kind of follow. Bitcoin's going down. A lot of the other altcoins are going to start to dump price as well. So not necessarily unusual, but it's going to be interesting to see if Bitcoin can hold that 20,000 support level. It's going to break back down again and visit 18,000 maybe over the weekend going into next week. Personally, I'm going to keep an eye on it. We'll see. Got some dry powder on the sideline. If we get a nice dip with Bitcoin or some of the other large cap coins I've been looking at, Cardano, Polkadot, might be a good opportunity for me to swoop some up. Let's jump into the first story here. So this one is coming from Bank of America, kind of data and recent conference that they had. It was a digital assets and Web3 conference last week. They had some large investors and folks that looks like 160 clients to be exact that attended the event. And Bank of America, overall, the report that they had at the end was that it seems that most of their clients are very optimistic long term on crypto and mainstream crypto adoption. So they have here many speakers who attended the event highlighted the point that it was during the tumbling and harsh market conditions that several kind of gem projects emerged. So they probably talking about the previous crypto winter, would have been after that 2017, 2018 bull run. Kind of had that bear market up until 2021. We had the most recent kind of uptick in price. And they're right. Anytime we have these bear market declines in price, Bitcoin going from 69, 70,000, whatever it was at, dipping down to, almost 20,000 today. It's can be useful because it helps to flush out a lot of the projects that aren't really building. They're not really doing right. It kind of cleans out the crypto space and takes out some of those different cryptocurrencies and projects that really just aren't developing, kind of the frothy that you have during the height of those bull runs. So client engagement continues to grow, and the focus remains on the rapid development and the disruptive nature of blockchain technology, despite falling token prices and headlines suggesting the ecosystem's demise has arrived. And so that's part of it is you have all these stories coming out, and even some of the stuff that I cover, it's all doom and gloom and all this hack and this project and this exchange being insolvent. But that's that froth. That's those companies that are over leveraged, that they're not being fiscally responsible with the assets that they're managing or in the development that they're doing. And it's these bear markets that really flush those projects out. So anytime I'm looking at a project or a cryptocurrency, one of the first things I try to identify is who's leading the team, and what are they trying to accomplish? What are they doing? Because when you're in those bull markets, everybody's winning, right? It's doesn't matter the name of the project or who's doing what. Everything seems to be going up kind of as a result of Bitcoin going up. And as Bitcoin goes up, some of that different money seems to kind of trickle down and flow into those other projects. But it's during that bear market where you see who's really developing and who is building. So last couple statements they have here. Bank of Aemerica says that it's easy to attract the first billion users to the crypto ecosystem, but the next billion will likely require improved bridges between fiat and crypto ecosystems and the creation of a crypto native ecosystem in which individuals are unaware of the applications that leverage the blockchain technology. So, having that integration with blockchain and technology and cryptocurrencies in our everyday lives to the point to where we don't even really know what's going on. And you could say the same about, kind of the advent of the internet and these different things. Everyone said, the internet's not going to work. It's never going to catch on. And now it's to the point that we're so interconnected, we don't even really realize, how much of everything that we do is connected to the internet. From a financial standpoint and transactions and those things, I think the blockchain long-term will probably play a similar role. So very interesting data there from the Bank of Aemerica. And it kind of leads into this next story, talking about kind of that overall adoption, the long term. So this one is about Nubank. Nubank is a bank in Brazil. I'm going to enlarge this here. So Nubank is a bank in Brazil. In fact, it's Brazil's largest digital bank. They have recently rolled out the capability for individuals to purchase Bitcoin through their app. And this was something that had been originally announced back in May in a blog post. And interestingly enough, Nubank is also a backed fintech by Warren Buffett. So Warren Buffett, kind of a famous investor, a guy from Omaha, Nebraska, I think is where he set up shop now with Berkshire Hathaway. But if you hear him talk about crypto or blockchain technology, distributed ledger technology, he's always very kind of against it, or saying that he doesn't understand it, that it's not going to work, et cetera, et cetera. And it's interesting to see that he backed this bank that's actually rolling out Bitcoin to its customers. So it might be one of those situations where you want to look and kind of observe more what people are doing compared to what they say. I think sometimes it can be a little smoke and mirrors in different aspects. So let's see here. And it looks like the bank, they have about 53 million clients currently. So that's a large number of people that are now going to have the opportunity to purchase Bitcoin, and hold that as kind of an asset for them. Nubank charges a small fee for each buy and sell operation, which, despite varying, hovers around. Looks like they got that 0.02%. The app does display educational content in the crypto section, so it's got some information kind of educating them, which I think is important long term as we kind of try to bring about that Bitcoin adoption and just blockchain competency. According to CNBC report, the holding company invested $500 million in Nubank in June of 2021, acquired 30 million shares for $250 million as it went public in December. And recently, they apparently doubled down with $1 billion investment in the Brazilian fintech. And I'm assuming they're talking about Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway. Let's go back. Unicorn startup Nubank is the most popular digital bank in Brazil. The fintech is backed by Warren Buffett, Berkshire Hathaway, and went on NASDAQ recently. Yeah, so I think they're talking about Berkshire Hathaway there. Yeah, so just another story about the kind of overall adoption of crypto. I think it's going to be slow, incremental, but little stories like this is how it happens, right? It's 53 million here, 20 million there that kind of have access to it, and then slowly, next thing you know, everyone's using it, buying it, and let me know down in the comments below what you think as far as this story and kind of the overall adoption for blockchain technology. Is it interesting that Warren Buffett's backing this bank that's rolling out this Nubank, this Bitcoin access for people in Brazil? The last story is looking at Harmony One. So this was a story originally covered a couple of days ago, but long story short, there was kind of a bridge with Harmony One's blockchain in which over $100 million was stolen. It came in the form of varying assets that were on the bridge. The hackers, they had the address that the hackers moved the funds to, so they were watching it. And at that time, I thought maybe they were going to be able to kind of block that address, prevent it from taking the assets that they had stolen to major exchanges to cash out or sell them. And then more recently, Harmony One offered a $1 million bounty for the return of those assets. So about 1% of what was actually taken, they offered a bounty. Sometimes when there's a large hack, that these different exchanges or companies will offer this bounty in hopes that the hackers will return it and take the bounty and maybe help that company long term as far as identifying how they did it, and so they can patch the back end some of their vulnerabilities. Looks like the hacker's wallet moved a lot of these funds and is currently continuing to move them to something called Tornado Cash, which, if I understand it, it's something where it kind of mixes all of the assets in with other assets and then spits out an equivalent amount of assets, so it's very hard to track the actual assets that were stolen. So the amount stolen we know, but where they're going to be going from here is kind of yet to be determined. So it doesn't look like Harmony is going to be getting back any of the that 100 million that was stolen in the hack. Kind of disappointing for the folks that were hurt by that. Let me know down in the comments below what kind of content you guys like me to cover. If you guys like that, kind of the stories and the updates. As always, if you like the content, please hit that like, subscribe, and ding that bell icon so you're notified of future content. Till next time.